cancer is quite common after the age of 50. For African American, they say it should be after the age of 45. But young people, they get colon cancer only there's a family history. If they have a father, mother, or first degree relatives who have a colon cancer, those are the people might get earlier age. So we usually do 10 years earlier than usual people around the age of 40. So young people do get, if there's a family history, or if they have a risk like having a colitis in the past, or those are the people are prone to have a colon cancer at earlier age. Usually majority of the people, colon cancer comes after the age of 50.
Now, we talk about colon cancer as a serious disease. Is there anything done to prevent it? I mean, just strictly colonoscopies?
Correct. There are prevention one is called primary prevention. Primary prevention is doing a colonoscopy, removing all the polyps. That's very definite. The secondary prevention is, we don't know why people are getting colon cancer, but there's a belief it could be excessive meat eating population, that could be eating meat, or people are not eating fiber, fruits and vegetables. Those are the people might be prone to have. So these are all called secondary prevention, eating less meat, more fruits, more vegetables, more fiber.
For this young man that had it in his 20s, would there be anything to point to his diet at such a young age?
No, that's just a gene. That's a family history, yeah. That person
he had family history?
Yeah, family history. So those are the people who have a gene. They have nothing to do with the diet. And those are the people who will start earlier age screening. But these people will do once in 3 years, once in 2 years.
Now, what made him come at such a young age? Did he have pain?
I think family history. Of family history.
Because I went at the age of 39 for my first one.
Right.
And my father died of colon cancer, so I've had 5 of them, or 4 of them anyway, with my next one scheduled for 09. At 3-year intervals I'm at now. I used to be at 5-year intervals. Okay. So my question is, as you get older, the intervals should be less, even though there's
No, it all depends upon how strong your family history is. Depends upon how old your father was when he had colon cancer. If anybody have a family history of colon cancer after the age of 60, there's a less
well, he was in his 50s when he was diagnosed.
Correct, yeah. Anybody earlier than 60, like 50s and 40s, that means that there's strong gene play. That's why your doctor wants to come more frequently, because of your father had earlier than 60. If anybody had after the age of 60, probably you don't have to be that aggressive. We do once in 5 years. So that's why I think they want you to come 3 years. As you get older and older, they want you to come more frequent, like once in 3 years.
So would you recommend anybody over 50 or over 40 get a colonoscopy, no matter who they are?
Yeah, that's important. Anybody, colon cancer has no selective bias. It affects everybody, all male and female. Being a second common cancer, it affects both male and female equally. So both male and female.
That was my next question. Do you see more males or females?
Yeah, both are equal. And both need this colon checkup after the age of 50. And good thing is, once you do a colonoscopy, once you find the colon is normal, then it's only 10 years later. It's not that frequent. If there's no family history, no colitis, once in 10 years. So they might need only 2 or 3 times in their lifetime. If we find a polyp, then we'll ask them to come in 3 to 5 years, depending upon how many polyps we see. If it's only one small polyp, then tell them come 5 years later. Or a lot of polyps, will tell them come 3 years later. So the colonoscopy will give an idea how often they should come.
And Wendy, as a nurse, when a patient comes for a colonoscopy, how do you prepare them? What happens before and during the procedure?
Well, the patients, of course, are seen in the office prior to the day that they're coming to the center for their colonoscopy, and they're given instructions there as far as the colon prep and what they're allowed to eat or drink before the procedure itself. By the time they come to us, they're already prepped. For the most part, it takes us about a half an hour to get them ready for the procedure. We'll explain everything to them, and we'll make sure that they haven't eaten or drank anything after midnight, that they've completed their preparation appropriately. And as long as they have, they'll be interviewed by our anesthesiologist as well, and she'll go over their medical history with them again, allergies and so forth, explain the medications that we're going to be giving them during the procedure. And for the most part, we tell them that it's very comfortable. They're going to be sleeping for the whole procedure. There's not going to be any discomfort. There isn't anything to be scared about as far as pain or waking up in the middle.
The big thing for people who are questionable about this is the day before.
Sure.
The process of
that's the hardest part.
Right.
Doing the preparation is the hardest part. And a lot of people, they've heard horror stories about years ago when we really didn't have the anesthetics that we have now, and it was uncomfortable. It was
not anymore.
Almost barbaric to have this procedure done, because it is very uncomfortable if you don't have anesthetic. And so we explained to them that it's not like that anymore. And it's something that's very simple to have done. And for a preventative measure, there really isn't any reason for anybody to say, I'm scared to have that, you know.
And
if I add more, I think the preparation also getting better and better. They're doing probably 4 cups of water the day before and some pills that cleans them up. And when we do the procedure, usually they give a medicine called Diprovan. It's a very quick acting. As soon as they give the medicine, patient go to sleep. And we do the procedure. Once we complete the procedure, the anesthesiologist stop giving the medicine. They wake up immediately. They don't even know they did, we did any procedure. Right. At the most, they might feel a little gassy feeling. That's
well, my knowledge, experience with the, thank you for that word, is I look at the clock. And if it's usually 9:30 or 9:15 and I'm back awake in 10 or 12 minutes, and I know the experience went rather well, and they didn't find many polyps in there, or none at all, because for it to be done that quick.
And that's how it is for most patients. You know, they'll wake up in the recovery area and they don't think they've had anything done yet. And we'll say, you've already been done for 5 minutes. You know, we've been out here for 5 minutes. And they don't believe you.
So without any polyps, it's usually a 10 to 12 minute procedure, correct?
Yeah, it's fairly quick.
Exactly. The complications also very, very minimal. Complication happens only if you have a polyp removal. Sometimes we might create bleeding, or we might perforate. They might need an emergency operation. But thank God, happens very rare. Probably 1 out of 1,000 procedure. And I might have done probably 40,000. Probably 4 or 5 people had perforation out of 40,000. Happens, but very, very rare.
Very rare.